Hi everyone, Ishmael Kolia is your realtor, associate broker with eXp Realty, and the team leader for the team of experts. You're in the market to sell your property, you're thinking about selling your property, but you're wondering, is this now a good time to sell? Perhaps you've talked to your family, your friends, your coworker, perhaps you've talked to other real estate agents and you've heard, everyone say different things whether right now is a good time to sell. Whether now is a good time to sell or not, first of all, depends on your personal situation and your needs. Do you need to sell the property? If the answer is yes, you need to sell the property because you need a bigger house, you need to downsize, maybe you have a job transfer, you're tired of the cold, well, then it's time to sell the property. But let's talk about the market. Is it a good time to sell the property in terms of the market? The answer again is absolutely yes. This is a great time to sell the property, and the reason for that is the economics 101, supply and demand equals price, right? There is limited amount of supply of houses in the market at the moment. And there's of course a huge demand for buyers from buyers that are looking to buy a house. So on one hand, we have few houses. On the other hand, we've got a lot of buyers looking to buy a house. Well, what's going to happen to the price of the house? Price of the house is going to go up, and therefore you win as a seller. If you're looking to sell your house, this is a great time to sell because supply is limited, demand is there, and therefore price is good for the seller. What happens if you wait? Well, let's see. And by the way, why is supply limited? So let's talk about that. Supply is limited right now because interest rate is higher than what it was a few years ago during COVID. During COVID, interest rate had been artificially lowered by the government to spur buying, and therefore interest rate was low. But now interest rate is a little bit higher than when it was during COVID. And for that reason, many sellers are holding off on selling their house. Why would a seller be concerned with an interest rate? Many people think that an interest rate or high or low interest rate would be a concern for a buyer who's looking to buy a house. How is that a seller concern? And why is a interest rate being high or low affecting the seller? Here's why. Many sellers don't have two properties, they only have one property. So when they sell this property, they're going to oftentimes buy another property. That's fact number one. Fact number two is many sellers do not have enough equity in house number one, where after they sell house number one, they'll get to buy house number two all cash. That means when a seller sells house number one and the money they get, it will not be enough to buy the second house all cash, and they'll need to get a mortgage. Well, that's where we run into the problem. That seller who wants to sell this house has perhaps 2% or 3% interest rate, which they refinanced and got during COVID. They will lose this low interest rate, and they'll have to pay a higher interest rate, which is today's interest rate, roughly, let's say 6%, when they go and buy the next house. And mentally, sellers are just not okay with that, and understandably so. So because sellers don't want to go away from a 3% interest rate on a current house and go buy a house with a 6% interest rate, they're just not selling the current house. And because they're not selling the current house, the inventory in the market of houses is low. And because inventory is low, prices are high. So if you are again thinking about selling the house, this is a great time to sell. Now, if you are able to buy the next property all cash, then that's a win-win for you. That means not only do you get benefit from high prices on a house, you won't have to worry about a high interest rate on the next house because you won't be taking a mortgage on the next house. Second thing you may want to consider is, even if you do have to take a mortgage on the next house, perhaps the amount that you'll borrow will be so little that your monthly payment will be very small. So for example, right now your mortgage might be $4,000. You're going to sell this house, you're going to downsize, buy a smaller house, and use a lot of your cash to buy the next house, but you still need a mortgage for some amount. That amount might be so low that your mortgage might be just $1,000 a month, for example. So that's another situation where you can benefit. And the third situation that you may be able to benefit, if it applies to you, is perhaps you're a seller or you're an owner who has two houses. So you're selling one house where you're going to get a nice high price for that house because the market is tight on the inventory, and you don't need to go buy another house because you already have a second house. So these are ideal situations if you are a seller or owner of two properties, or if you are looking to buy a house that will be all cash, or if you're looking to buy a house where the monthly payment will be substantially lower than what you are paying right now. So again, the reason market prices are high is because the interest rate is high as well. All right. So again, Ismail Collier is your realtor. I'd love to discuss with you your own individual case, whether this is a good time for you to sell or not. What I just described is for the market, but your individual set of circumstances may be different. Reach out to me and my team and let's discuss your personal needs. 914-540-8849, 914-540-8849. Ismail Collier is your realtor, associate broker with eXp Realty. My team and I are ready to help you in the 5 boroughs, as well as the suburbs of Long Island, Rockland, Westchester, and New York State. And of course, at eXp Realty, we're able to help you in all 50 states. Please reach out. Let's help you and your family get your property sold. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.